right about now.
And we got some more popping. We bring exactly what you're wanting more often. The whole team's feeding to watch your jaw drop. This is World TV and we got you all watching.
Right, my last fight is with Ultimate Challenge against my fight against Stav Economou. I just come back off a 3-week holiday in South Africa. If you watch the fight, you'll probably see that I was out of shape. Wasn't as fit as I usually am during a fight. And I think my heart was just not into that fight, to be honest with you. I took it because it was a means to an end, you know, getting me into a bigger event. And I think out of all my fights, it's one I've took the most likely. Stav was in great shape as always, and he had a great fight against me. It was just an off night for me. Yeah, I think what people are missing, what had happened with me in that fight was in the beginning of the second round, I gave Stav an overhand MMA punch and broke my hand, and I had to fight the rest of the fight with a broken hand. I also tore bicep tendon. That's all fixed and well now, but at the time it sort of dropped my guard, and he got through and punched me. I don't like to make excuses about why the fight went the way it did. You know, you get injured fighting, you get injured training, and it's just one of those things. Everybody wants to know who I think won that fight, and to be honest with you, I think I did. I threw all the punches, all the combinations, and Stav hit me, but you know, couldn't get me down and keep me down, if you want to put it that way. I think everybody expected, and myself included, that Stav would take me down, and because he's, you know, training in jiu-jitsu more than I am, that he'd submit me. But he couldn't. My jiu-jitsu defense, my wrestling skills are a lot better, and I think it's like I said, it was just an off night for me, and to be honest with you, I'm quite glad the way it went, because Stav is a good friend of mine, and I think a draw was fair. Of course, I'd accept a rematch. I think I've spoken to Stav about this after the fight. As him and I are great friends, we've got each other's numbers, and we've been out together. And right now, it's not on the cards for me, but in the future, who knows? You know, it's always been a dream of mine to fight in America, and through my new manager with MMA Agents, Ken Pavia, he got me into Bellator. He was looking at Strikeforce, back in the UFC, all of those, even in dreams in Japan, but Bellator came up and I was quite happy to go and fight for them. They have been going for 3 years, it's their third year now, their third season, and they're a big and young and up-and-coming MMA event in the States. They have more tournaments than any of the other events, but they do have just, you know, fights like every other MMA company. I think it's a great idea. They don't have a heavyweight champion, and to pick 8 of the best fighters they can get to compete with each other for this title is a good way of doing it. It's not, you know, all happening in one night like other events would have. It's spaced out 3-4 weeks in between, you know, fights. So my semi-final is 4 or 5 weeks after the one I just had. I think Bellator is cutting its own niche, definitely, when it comes to MMA events. You know, the UFC is a big company and nobody can compete with them, but I think everyone else is just riding the wave with them. And Bellator, you know, having good TV deals and sponsorship might get up there at some point. But I think if any MMA event tries to compete with the UFC, they're going to be losing. I think they're completely different. Their management team is fantastic. While I was there and fighting for them, when I was in Florida, they treated me like, you know, like a friend, and I got to speak with the CEOs, the guys who run the whole production, and made feel quite at home. You know, Going into my fight against Eddie Sanchez, I was told that he's a knockout specialist as well. He comes from a jiu-jitsu background, so being American, I suppose his wrestling skills were going to be 10 times better than mine. So I went in prepared, did a lot of combat sambo training, and I think the thing I could do better than him was being fitter than him. So training with Craig Maddocks at Excel in Southend has helped me gain more, have more confidence going into the fight. My intention was to get in there and knock him out, and with the initial first jab, that all happened. And I think with most fights, especially the ones I didn't do too good in, it's like a point-scoring match. But I think I've gone back to square one, which is go in there and finish a job. Don't give them breathing space. Knock them when they go down, or you see an opening. Just finish the fight. I think I've been told that Cole is probably one of the best wrestlers in the tournament. He's my sort of size, a bit out of shape, but big. And of the fight between Barrett and Grabowski, Barrett is the other fantastic wrestler. I've got no problem with fighting wrestlers at all, but if I could have it my way, I'd like to fight Grabowski or Lawrence, purely because they have the same sort of fighting style as me. It's, want to knock people out. But saying that, Grabowski is very short, and I think if anybody's watched any of my fights, their game plan would be is to take me down and keep me on the ground. But as you saw with me against Eddie Sanchez, the minute I get a chance to get up, I'll get up and start training again.